What a difference a week makes. You know, you have to fight through adversity a lot of times. Things going to hit you in the face. It makes you take a step back, but it's how you respond. The team really went to work last week. Knew we had a great opportunity ahead of us. You know, we split up our season into 4 quarters. In the second quarter, getting a chance to get to 2-1 was big for us. And that's where we are. We have 2 division wins right now, road wins, which is hard to do, and have an opportunity to go 3-1 in the second quarter, which would put us in decent shape. A lot of good things happened yesterday. It's going to go to the end of the game. Offensively, needing to put together a good drive, score a point in overtime. Able to do that. I don't know exactly how many, 15 plays, whatever, but big third downs. A lot of guys had to step up. Protection had to be good. Running backs had to be on top of the game. Wide receivers catching the ball. Of course, Jameis throwing it. O-line blocking, all of it. Just a great drive. And then from there, calling the special teams to get the field goal. And then it's only fitting that the defense needed to go out and get a stop. And we knew they had put a lot of yards, as you mentioned yesterday, Roy. They put a lot of yards on them. But needing to stand up and make a big play. And Howard Jones, good rush. And just good defense at the end. So we finished it out the right way. We're excited about the win, which puts us in position. Had a couple of injuries from the game. William Goldston goes fall through, knee injury. So he's a little banged up. Jack Smith hurt his ankle. So we'll continue to monitor them. Hopefully we'll get a couple of our players back that have been out. It's been out for a while. Pick your question.
Love you guys. Some of your biggest plays defensively came in the red zone. Josh Shirley with a stop, forces a field goal, a couple of opportunities like that where they were very tight to it, and you came up with the plays. Just talk about what kind of adjustments you guys made throughout the week to get better there.
Well, believe it or not, we've been, trying to keep them out of the end zone, especially down in the red zone. Each week we've been working on things, and that's what we did last week. Yeah, we tweaked it and played some different things. But the execution part was a lot better this week. And whenever you can it's one thing to get stopped down in the red zone, but to take the ball away in the red zone, it's just really big. So mixing a lot of things, but in the end, it's just guys making some bigger plays in the right position.
Talked a lot about Juan Alexander played with emotion yesterday, but I got his interceptions, the one that counted anyway. In particular, it seemed like he really executed properly on that, going down the pipe like that, and making that play. Was that one of his better games in terms of execution as well?
No doubt, it was. And I'm still going to go back to the one that they called back, but that was no fault of his. Right. That's a great play. Coverage where, it's linebacker on a receiver a little bit. Great receiver. He made a great one on it. But, yeah, that one it's I think instead of one of, that was his best game. And whenever you can, and we can talk, the plays. Of course, my favorite one, the interception was big too. But to take the ball away, it's one thing to get a tackle, but then to cause a fumble, recover the fumble, and then get positive yards too. How many rookies would even be thinking about it? And I should get away from the rookie part because that's not a rookie play by any means there. But we all know what he was going through, and that takes an awful lot to be able to stay focused like that throughout the game. And just know you had at this time you were helping another part of your family do something that was important to them. But it was a great game, one that you'll never forget.
Lovie, the moment that's been shared on video after the game, when Lovie Mankins yourself, he presents him the ball, the reaction, sort of gone viral a little bit, but there's a lot of knocks about football, about the brutality of the game, the NFL. We read a lot about players who maybe don't do the right things.
Yeah.
Tell me in those moments that I think people can appreciate, what is a good part of the game that we saw there that you're able to share in the locker room that many of us never get to see?
Well, I thought what you saw in that locker room is what was real, unscripted. Lovie Smith is one of our captains. And, you know, when you're on a football team, you don't get a chance to share as much time with all of your teammates. The offensive linemen and the linebackers don't hang out and go to dinner each night or anything. But sometimes when you go through something like Quan is going through, for him to find out just how much he really means to the group. And Logan asked me if he could do that. And then it just wasn't. Logan, of course, handed the ball, presented the ball to him. But all of his teammates were feeling for him the entire game. And when I say we have a special group of men, I could go on the rest of the day. We have a special group of men. We really do. And sometimes when things like this happen, you get a chance to see it, but that's kind of what we see daily.
Lovie, for you personally, in yesterday's game, that will be, of course, hard to forget, I guess, because of the circumstances that happened. What would that be like for you as you recall that day?
Yeah, no doubt. It's a special game for all of us. And there were live, you talk about the emotions of a game. But it seemed like there's live in the NFL too. But, you know, as you all know, first to go on the road, it's tough. Get a lead evaporates. Then you have to make some plays at the end. But, you know, sometimes when things are going along, you need to be put in tough situations to see exactly what you have, to see how football team will respond. But if you just go back to, I say move on, but I'm going to go back to a week ago to know what all the team was going through, to be able to get it together like that and finish the way we did. It says a lot.
Is there something unique about football that a guy can be 20 years old and here only 6 months and still feel like he has that many brothers in a room? Is it the process of the game, and what is it that allows that to happen?
Well, you know, of course, Rick, you've been in sports all your life and played it. You know it is a unique position to be in, and when you're part of a team, it's one thing to be of a team, but you know, we talk more about being a part of a tribe where you're really connected. And when you go through some of the things, the different emotions, you know, if you're not a part of the team, you know, there's a game, you move on, you're upset if we don't win, and of course if we win, you're excited. But for our guys to be invested that much, and just look at the sideline after the, if you could, just that picture of the sideline after we won. But when you're invested that much in the group, and it's hard to put it, but it is a drug in a way, and that you need and you want really the rest of your life. And while you're living it, you have to take advantage of it. And your job is to do your job. And that's what it really comes down to, and that's what the guys did.
Lovie, we talk a lot about Quan and Jameis, but you had 10 rookies and first-year players that played on Sunday. A lot of them precedented by injuries. The two ends, the two receivers, Jude. How well have they, I don't want to say surprised you, but how pleasant has it been to see how well they've stepped into larger roles on short notice and handled themselves?
Well, I just know you know, when you're part of a team and you put a group together, you just have to realize that if you put the group together and you have some young players on there, I'd say you got to call on them. And I think it says a lot about our veteran players too, where they can keep bringing in young bodies and be that perfect example on how you get things done. And I've talked so much about our veteran leadership that we have, but you do need to go through times like this. And for our rookies, you know, I don't think they crossed their mind, you know, first year player out here. No, they were just stepping in there, whether it was Dante Dye, Adam Humphries, Josh Shirley getting reps yesterday, Howard Jones, and all these guys taking center stage. Of course, we too are going to go back to our you know, Quan Alexander starts every defensive call for us, rookie. Jameis Winston does the same thing, but nowadays, rookies can handle those situations.
You just alluded to it yourself, talking about how the D linemen don't necessarily go to dinner with their linemen and that kind of stuff. Everybody's in their own separate meeting rooms
me go back. When I say don't, you know, I don't go out with every coach on our staff either. But that doesn't mean this is a close. Before any of this happened, it's a close team, and it doesn't. The team doesn't need anything else to bring them closer. Just sometimes as a man, you don't let it out how you feel about someone always. There's no more than that. No, I don't think this team can get any closer. They like each other. They know that there's a responsibility that you feel to do your job for your teammates. So I think we're already there. But just what is happening with our football team, yeah, we need to keep taking steps, and we'll do that.
Coach, obviously you had a lot of belief in Quan Alexander 2 weeks ago. Is there something, though, that you've learned about him in the last few days?
No doubt. I think when you see someone go through a tough situation, I think whenever you see someone go through a different situation, you learn something about them always. And yes, we have. And what I've seen from Quan as he's handled the situation is what really I knew. And there's a reason why we put him into this role, the type of man he is, and what he believes, how he plays. And I knew a lot about his family and how he's been raised, just kind of based on that. So again, we could talk about Quan for a while. The football part of what he's doing was played an outstanding football game yesterday, and that's the bottom line.
Coach, you and Coach Cutter talk each week a little bit about how you see Jameis improving on the field. From a leadership perspective, from our view, we kind of see him maybe being a little more demonstrative and things like that. Are you seeing his leadership characteristics also grow along with his play on the field?
Yes, it has, and that happens with confidence. The more you know, each day you see that you do something different, and you cast into that role, especially at the quarterback position. He is more vocal. And I know you guys know Jameis. That's saying an awful lot. Jameis is more vocal because he likes to talk a lot, which is a good thing. But he is going to be our leader. He's not a captain yet, but he is in that role, and we should see him in that role even more Wednesday. And of course, the next game, and it'll keep going on.
How much do you like to see him in the role as a lead blocker for Doug Martin on the goal?
You know, some of those things, we'll coach him up afterwards, but, you know, it would probably be bad if he had a quarterback. I don't know if I want to stick my face in that. That's not Jameis. He's about, what do I need to do to help my team win? And at the moment, he thought it was a good idea to go in there and block. Of course we did. But I'm going to go back to him scrambling again. You don't want your quarterback taking any hits either, but he looked a lot like, you know, maybe even Roger Staubach on that one. Well, maybe not that, but he really did look good scrambling. Of course, the touchdown of the instincts to get the ball in the end zone. Did a great job with that too.
What did you learn about him, the way he was able to collect the team going into overtime after the way the fourth quarter ended, and just that drive in general?
I think that's what we've seen from him. That's how he's handled just about every situation. But what he needs to do is get in overtime and have to do that to lead his team down there. As a rookie quarterback, even though we say a guy can do certain things, he has to go through it for the first time. And he handled it the right way.
Anything else?
Thank you.